What is up, YouTube? My name is Eben, and today is Throwback Thursday, which means that we are going to take a look at a card that is long since rotated out and see what it would be like in Standard today. And today we're going to take a look at this cool guy, this Drifblim from, I believe it's Stormfront. Has 3 different attacks and could definitely be useful in today's metagame. He's got 90 HP, but he does also have a free retreat, and he's got 2 free attacks. This guy is just so low maintenance. He's just an awesome guy. Like, you just want to hang out with him, wouldn't you? For instance, for 0 energy, his delivery attack allows you to pick any one card from your discard pile and put it into your hand. So kind of like a little mini puzzle of time. And that's going to be kind of nice. That's going to be sort of our go-to attack for the mid to late game, meaning this guy is not useless after those first couple of turns. But he also has a free attack called Lifting, where you can search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench, and each one of them can have a basic energy attached from your deck as well, which is pretty amazing. That's accelerating you by 2 energy and searching for basic Pokemon, and they can also be EXs, of course. So pretty amazing, and Lifting is what we're trying to do on our first or second turn, depending on if we can get a Wally and if we want first or not. He does have this nice Ominous Wind attack here for a Psychic and a Colorless that deals 40 damage, and on a coin toss, it'll confuse them and prevent them from retreating. But really, he's mainly here for his Lifting early game, and we're kind of, the whole deck is kind of predicated on that. So as far as Drifloons go, I mean, we're already reaching back in time, so any old Drifloon will do. I kind of like this Drifloon from Majestic Dawn, just because of his delivery attack. I like that as a nice sort of, if I have to attack with it, attack. But this Drifloon's pretty nice too, from the same set as the Drifblim, because he's got a coin toss chance of paralyzing somebody to stall for time if you need to. And you can always use this Drifloon from Plasma Blast, because you could theoretically Wind Blast with him, and he's got 70 HP. But you know what? Any Drifloon is really just fine. Now, what could we get? Well, I was thinking maybe something that wants to evolve, and that way we've already got it on the bench from Drifblim attacking, so on the next turn we can go ahead and straight up evolve to it. But it wants lots of energy, maybe in different locations. Mega Gardevoir EX. We're going to run 2 of it, and this thing loves for us to get lots of basic energy and spread them around, and we can move them around with Aromatisse naturally. So, I mean, basically Drifblim is going to be like a sort of better Xerneas, because Xerneas may get you 2 energy, but it doesn't get you 2 Pokemon. And it doesn't help you, in a sense, kind of accelerate Gardevoir's evolution. So we're running 2 Mega Gardevoir EX, and to support it, we're also just bringing 2 regular Gardevoir EX to the party as well. So you don't have to search it out with your Ultra Balls or anything like that. Instead, you're just going to let Drifblim go get it for you. That's basically the idea of the deck right there. But we do have a sort of a secondary healing idea going on here that we're running 2 Sylveon EX for, because this thing can definitely take some energy, and with your Precious Ribbon, you can do things like heal up a damaged Aromatisse, you can make sure your Mega Gardevoir stays healthy, things like that there. So just a nice fairy support Pokemon right there. We are running 1 Xerneas though, so in case we need to Fairy Garden and move some things around, we can always bring this guy in to help pump up our energy, things like that. And our Drifblim does have free retreat. So if all else fails, you can bring out a Xerneas, get an energy on him, and then on the next turn, free treat into that Xerneas, and then Geomancy up to accelerate your energy if you don't need the Pokemon anymore. So definitely a good option to have a 1 of there. We're running 2 Aromatisse, and any old Spritzy will do, but I'm still just kind of a fan of the XY base set Spritzy, but any Spritzy will do. They're pretty much all the same. And this is obviously just Fairy Transfer, get that energy moving around, keep your opponent from being able to get rid of it. Our last Pokemon, we are running 1 Shaman EX. It's really just an Ultra Ball target for the right times, but apart from that, we already have a pretty heavy Pokemon lineup, and I didn't think we'd really need more than the 1, frankly. It's just a nice little search target, and that's all she wrote. So that's that. After all, it's not going to be something we want to go get with Drifblim. Supporter-wise, we're running 3 Sycamores because our Pokemon lines are a little frail, and we don't want to discard too many extras of them in the pursuit of more cards, but we are still running 3 because it is just that good of a draw card. We're running 3 Ns. It's a much better draw engine for this particular deck and can help us out in the mid-game if our opponent took an early prize lead, most definitely. We're running 2 Wallies. If you go second, you can Wally up to Drifblim and go ahead and set up with Lifting on your very first turn. If not, it's still a very good way to search out your evolution and to get your Aromatisse up really quickly to kind of bypass that lower HP Spritzy, having to have that out for a turn where your opponent might be able to snipe it with Lysander. And if all else fails, you can always Wally into that Aromatisse to at least move energy for 1 turn, even if it gets Lysandered on the next. Now, speaking of easy knockouts, we are running 1 copy of Teammates. It's a fantastic versus secret target for us, and Drifblim's kind of accepted as he's going to go down, and that's a perfect way to exploit it. I mean, heck, you might even use him to go get Teammates out of your discard pile if you really need to in that mid to late game area and really threaten people. Like, do you want to knock him out? We are running 1 Lysander as well, just to help us pick off some important knockouts. And we do have Hexmaniacs. There are a number of decks that we kind of need to put the screws on here. So Hexmaniac is going to let us do that, and it also gets around things like Carbink, which is always nice. As far as our items go, we're running the fairly standard by now for Ultra Balls. We're definitely going to want this to make sure we can get the right things out at the right time. And it's also pretty much our best ticket to Mega Gardevoir, so that's pretty important. And we're running 4 copies of Versus Seeker, pretty self-explanatory there as well. And there are a number of trainers we really, really need and need them at the right times. So we are going to run a full 4 copies of Trainer's Mail to kind of help make sure we get that as much as we can. And also hit those supporters, of course. For our 2 Megas, we do have 2 Gardevoir Spirit Link. And we are running 1 town map because getting the right prizes might be pretty crucial for us because of the way our Pokemon lineup is built. So we do have town maps so that we can cherry pick prizes to make sure that, like, let's say we've prized both our Aromatisse. That way we can town map, and when we get a knockout, we can pick one up and kind of help our engine get fully established. We're running 3 Fairy Gardens. This is, yeah, it's a counter stadium for the most part, but those free switches can be very useful to us. Those free retreats can be useful for anybody. And our final item is we do have 1 Super Rod. This can help us save Aromatisses and Mega Gardevoirs and things like that. And if we lose a bunch of energy somehow, it can also help us recover out of that. And finally, we have our energy lineup. We've got a grand total of 11 basic fairy energies because we definitely want to have a lot of energies around, and we're going to search them out of our deck, but it's also nice top deck and etc. So this is all to keep our Mega Gardevoir and company happy. But I did sneak in 1 psychic energy because I figured, you know what, Drifblim is sort of the centerpiece of the deck. He's the guy, and we really just can't come this far without at least giving him the option to potentially attack. And I mean, if you get the coin toss right on him, that might actually be a pretty game-defining attack. Giving them confusion and no retreat could force them to make a play that might end up blowing up in their face and buying you some time, or forcing out inconvenient retreats. I mean, who knows? So it's a nice one-of. You certainly don't have to run it, but I like it. I just felt like it was the right thing to do. And anyway, that is the deck. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, trip me out on Twitter. Link is below as always, and I will see you next time.